Hello, beloveds. For the past couple of weeks, there has been a lot of stirring in the body, a lot of transitioning, a lot of moving, and ultimately that may look like a healing crisis. So, some of you may know that I work one-on-one with individuals as well as in groups, and there's always patterns present. These are patterns that we see in the collective, and of course they're patterns that are reflected back to us about ourselves. So what I have been encountering, I feel I should share because so many people are experiencing this and can feel really concerned about what's happening. And so as I worked with a client yesterday, I had already been picking up all these little pieces, and it finally all came together. So for the past several months, and it will differ for each individual person, but for the last at least 4, 6, maybe even 8 months for some people, we've been doing a lot of rearranging within our being, within our energy field. So around the time of May and through the summer, there was a lot of mental rearranging, and then in August, September, we really moved through some emotional rearranging. And the next layer that we reach is the physical body. This is the densest part of our being. So some of the things that I have been hearing from other people, what I witnessed in my own body, is that our bodies are now catching up with all of the adjustments that we made through the subtle bodies. So it's very likely that there have been big life changes for you around stability and safety and provisions, all of like these foundational issues, relationships and money, home, and feeling safe in the body and just feeling healthy in the body, the ability to feel rooted and connected in community. These are all foundational first chakra issues. So much rearranging happening there. And in the last couple of weeks, the body is now having to cellularly respond to the rest of the subtle bodies. So all of the things that you have been working through, I think a lot of people now are like, oh my gosh, I'm like going backwards. And really what is happening is that I get this image in my head of, if you've ever seen one of those werewolf movies, and like totally appropriate for a couple days before Halloween, right? So in those movies, you see them go through like all of these like metamorphosis and like changes in their body, and it's painful, right? Like their body actually has to change to accommodate that state of being that they become. So not quite as graphic. And truly becoming a more beautiful and refined reflection of your authentic self, of your soul self. That is what is happening. That is what's occurring. So if you're having really intense physical effects, and of course you may still be having, emotional triggers and mental triggers and, spiritual crisis. It's all woven together. But in the physical body, if you're feeling these things, just know that it's okay, that this is a part of your healing and restoration process, that there are places where we have felt unsafe throughout our life, and often, especially as children, when we have been unsafe, there is this coping mechanism to vacate the body. The spirit will vacate the body when it's under any incredible stress, any kind of trauma. It totally leaves the body. And so I'm seeing where a lot of people are coming to realize that maybe parts of themselves have never actually come all the way back in. or maybe that they're still using this coping mechanism, but it's really no longer assisting them. So you see, this is about more soul infusion, being okay with being here on earth right now in this body, safe as yourself, to walk your path, to take the next step. So if you've had that concern that something's wrong, I assure you that this is all a part of the rise and the upgrade into the next best version of yourself. We tend to have this idea that it means something's wrong if there's pain, if we have to experience something that's uncomfortable or unsuspected, especially when it comes to our body or any kind of health relation. And really what is happening is that we are building maybe a new foundation for ourselves, so that we can really start to feel anchored enough, rooted and grounded enough to do something different, to make the different choices, to create the new existence through those choices. So if that's you, if you've made big shifts in the last several months and you're feeling it in your body, it will start to wane. I promise it will start to get better. Some of the tips that I would offer you is generate movement in your body daily. Do as much as you can to physically detoxify. Physical exertion in a way that's healthy and helps for you to detoxify cellularly, for you to start to create new neural connections. And what you're also doing in that process, if you're doing yoga, calisthenics, running, qigong, any of those practices are going to help to rewrite the muscle memory. Because we've moved through a lot of the other stuff, the emotional, the mental, the spiritual, and now the body still has the memories in it. It's still held in the cells. So we have to reprogram that. The only way we can do that is actually getting the energy to innervate into each little pocket of the biological system. So you have to move, you have to breathe. Anything that you can do to detoxify yourself right now naturally, organically, and to include that movement is really going to serve you well, and you're going to feel so much better. One of the things that I had to learn in my process was to no longer bypass my body's wisdom. Body will always tell you what you need and when you need it, but sometimes the mind goes, yeah, but I want this. So this is an opportunity for you to really get quiet and hear, listen. Maybe I need to make a different choice daily. Maybe it's time to adjust this routine. Maybe it's time to step into my power. So I know that all of you are doing your work. You're not alone. You're in good community. And so I do want to share with you a little meditation to kind of help you in this process and in becoming more soul infused and releasing some of those symptoms that may have been a burden for a very long time. Stay tuned and check out this meditation and use it anytime you need to just anchor you into the core of who you are, your perfection and your light and your wholeness and your purpose.